It's Week 18 of the National Football League. All eyes are on Jerry Jeudy. He's been torching secondaries all season, now closing in on 1,200 yards. It's the Broncos and the Barons, and it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 23.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Brooklyn Barons and the Denver Broncos. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at our visitors coming into play here. They know coming in they've got to be at their best because they're facing one of the better overall defenses in the NFL.
And this is not one of the better offenses around in terms of running the football. So they understand that they're going to be put to the test a bit. The big plays in the run game, they haven't been there of late. So maybe that means we'll see them shake things up a little bit. Some RPOs, some touch passes, some draw plays. Anything to try and get a little bit of momentum.
And off we go from Denver. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Now this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back. They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. He'll drop to throw. In trouble, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Carl Lawson in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. This is Harris. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU, Zach Wilson.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. He finds Corey Davis. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Carter. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Wilson. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking sideline, and he's going to have his man as he was able to walk the tightrope there for the completion. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation. I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the 1st down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver's taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC.
Well, here we sit, week 17, just one more week in the regular season after this one. So if you're one of these teams trying to make a move and improve your spot or jump in from the outside, Charles, you better make that move now.
And these final games are often a good barometer for all those teams fighting for position or a wild card spot. They have to be able to get the job done these last 2 weeks before things get even tougher when the playoffs officially begin. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He finds his man complete. That's Rhodes.
And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll look to throw here. Buying time to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Carl Lawson. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive.
Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will. 1st and 10.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Carter straight ahead.
Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Flushed out right. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
And partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
gets ready for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Gay knocks this one through, and that'll make it 3-0 here in the first.
So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Harris now to return.
A good head-down running on the return. Gets about 15 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now Carter to start the drive.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They'll go again with Carter.
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st.
A give, Carter running right. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Shotgun snap and a give to Carter.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Now it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Carl Lawson, what a start to this ball game. Still in the 1st quarter, and he now has 3 sacks, on pace for double digits.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
On 2nd down, Williams. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here.
Harris to return. And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Carter once more. And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35.
Wilson. Completes it to Davis. And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
2nd and 6. Under pressure, and down he goes.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Quinn Miners, 3rd-round pick in 2021, called for the penalty.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. It's loose, the ball bouncing around, and it's going to go out of the back of the end zone, so that is going to be a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
This is taken at the 18.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
So the safety, obviously a big play, but now the offense, maybe they feel pressure to score with the defense doing something like that.
And it's good pressure because they put them in a nice spot now, having scored the points on defense, turn the ball back over to them. You're right, there's pressure to score, but they feel good about their chances.
That's good. They like that pressure.
They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, it's Brooklyn in possession as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Here's Wilson.
Open man is the tight end Troutman.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Now Wilson. uncorks one for Davis. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to kick it away. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start on the ground here on first down.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
On third down, here's Williams.
And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And this offense, they're going to have an excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Throw right side complete to Carter.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
From the 41, Wilson.
That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play.
Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
A give up the middle to Carter, and he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8.
They go play action now. Wilson. Throwing left side, it's complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there of 22. Throwing is Wilson.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Back to the ground with Carter.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
6 plays got him down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal. Now Wilson. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. And Oliver able to get in there and drop him behind the line.
3rd and goal, they decide decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try from the right hash, and this one just a chipping. Gay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Denver's offense now set to go.
Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And incomplete on the deep ball.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
The Broncos send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. On the return, Harris. And he goes out right around the 39. 31 yards on the punt there.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A handoff for Carter.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
On the counter, Carter.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This offense so far on 3rd down, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised him and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, and Next Gen Stats says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end.
So close to an NFL record, but denied by the crossbar.
And you have to feel bad for him, don't you? He squeezed every last inch out of that kick. Oh, I thought he had it, but you said it. He's denied by the cruel sound of the metal crossbar.
Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50. 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Here's 2nd and 8.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. looking to throw.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3.
Back to throw here. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And as a result, possession switches hands. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
On first down, Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moore.
And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. From the shotgun, Wilson.
He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman.
And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
A nice chunk play from the tight end position, and it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. Both saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
Wilson now off the bootleg. He finds his man, complete. That's Haynes.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Wilson will throw again.
He's got the connection to Moore.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Here's Wilson to throw.
It's a screenplay here for Carter.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown.
Alec Ingold with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year.
And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Extra point by Gay is up and good.
And that makes our score 17-0.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me on a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. You doing okay over there, partner? Because that's yet another sack in this game that you just had to call. We're not even at halftime yet. No wonder this team has the lead. What an effort by the defense right from the word go. The adjustments at halftime, they're going to have to be big, or this could really get ugly in the second half.
2nd and 15. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Dancing to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Following the play here, now we've got an injury. Now, this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
So not just running into the punter, but roughing the punter.
And I'm struggling with this one. You know, you're watching it, partner. Is it more the first rather than the latter? This is a tough one. Almost feels like he felt like he had to call it on that play.
And they'll run the end around here with Judy.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Taken down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
He'll drop this down to Williams. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
The Broncos send out their punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35.
And this returnable for Harris.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And out will come the offense as they take over.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now Wilson on 1st down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. To throw again is Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Wilson. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. To throw again on 2nd down, Wilson. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And Gay knocks this one through, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And it's the Chiefs who have the lead in the second quarter. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. Austin Eckler, 2 touchdown runs on the afternoon. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting 49ers who are out in front. Deebo Samuel, a touchdown reception. We'll continue on and take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half. And they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they were on the other end of the spectrum in terms of passing efficiency. That's going to need to improve in the second half to come.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
This one fielded at the 5. And he returns this to the 22.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
For week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. On third down, Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. With it is Jackson. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Pressure comes and down he goes.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. The Broncos send out their punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today.
Harris returning.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Draw play, Carter.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
This one swung out to Williams.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Holding, offense.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Out of the gun, they run with Carter.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Another tote for Carter.
2 yards, good enough for a 1st. Here's Wilson.
Open man is the tight end Troutman.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. On 2nd and 9, Wilson trying to drop one in, but it's incomplete. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Wilson eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Gay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Now 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Back to throw here. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted.
Sauce Gardner picks it off.
And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
On 1st and 10, it's Carter.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. On 2nd and 9, Wilson. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Past the 20. 5. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick 6.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Oh, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone. This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now Wilson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Ed Oliver able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Here's Logan Cook now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And Denver getting set to take the field.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well. And that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but when he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. Harris now to return.
Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up.
And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Now it's Wilson.
He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go play action now. Wilson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Well, they've certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. Just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Carter straight ahead. Dodges him at the 50. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 44-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's a give to Carter, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 26. A 3rd down conversion with a strong gain of 14. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
Another run on 2nd down with Carter. And still about 3 yards shy of the 1st as the 4-yard pickup brings him to 3rd down. They'll run with Carter. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. And they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Gay knocks this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Denver's offense ready to go again. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Carl Lawson in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with the late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Able to slither by.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Hey, baby, this ain't good enough for us.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that'll bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 27-yard line.
He'll look to throw. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play.
Now this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied to meet the tackle.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
They'll run on first down. Haynes. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Now Carter.
5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. Here's Wilson to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Now Wilson. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Again, Wilson being chased. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. Gay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
From the 6. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
So the Broncos coming out now.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
2nd and 2.
That's caught left side by Judy.
first down. He'll drop to throw.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he'll be brought down at about the 42.
Tackle on that play by Quinnen Williams.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw.
This one swung out to Williams. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll just get rid of it.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
He finds his man, complete. It's Rhodes.
And he is going to have a Broncos first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it. Going the other way. The 30, 20, 10, 5. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And the lead is now an even 30. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
From the 6. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Set to take over. The Broncos offense trots back out. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
A huge play there for Denver. 44 yards. To another on-target throw, and that last one, Charles, going to put him up over 5,000 yards passing out for the season, and that is not an insignificant number.
Indeed it is not, because this is not a big list, and most of the guys on it, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Dan Marino, they either are or will be Hall of Famers.
Back to throw now on first down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. That he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play.
Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and as a result, possession switches hands. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Now Carter to start the drive.
And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11.
Taken down at the 11-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Another run on 2nd down with Carter.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage.
Brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. And it brings up 3rd down.
So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors, and I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple. Although I set you up by saying game balls plural, but I
like where we're going with this. You say one to represent like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for our visitors,
they do get that 10th win of the year as they finish up at 10-7 overall.
And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for Denver,
this loss will mean they finish the season on the wrong side of 500 at 8-9.
And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end.